Okay, after 6 months of intense debate, tonight, senators finally voted on the Liberal government's landmark bill to legalize recreational marijuana. Now, Catherine Cullen has been following the late-night vote closely on Parliament Hill and joins us now from outside the Senate chambers. So, Catherine, let's start with the result.
Yeah, Andrew, you know, there was so much scrutiny around this vote, a real sense of drama that had built up. In the end, it wasn't even close. 56 in favor of the government's Cannabis Act, 30 senators opposed, one senator who abstained. Now, of course, that vote is with all of the changes that the Senate wants to see to this piece of legislation. 46 changes, in fact, which by parliamentary standards is a pretty darn big number. And now the House of Commons is going to have to take a look at the legislation with all the changes and decide what to do about it. But just because there was a big margin tonight, you shouldn't think that passions around this issue have necessarily calmed. Listen to a bit of what some senators had to say after the vote.
We know that prohibition doesn't work. I think this is a brave move on the part of the government, frankly, to take on a tough and obviously controversial issue. And I'm very pleased by the strength of this evening's positive vote.
I'm very concerned that what we've seen here from the government senators is that there's an attempt to normalize marijuana. And unfortunately, this bill makes marijuana more accessible to teenagers particularly than ever before. And it's very concerning.
Okay, so if we take stock of what's happened, I mean, a clear win for the bill, a big step forward for legalization. But as you alluded to, I mean, the passion swirling around this, it's not over yet, not by a long shot.
That's right. The House of Commons has to consider those changes I was talking about. Some of them are technical, but some of them are more substantive. Questions about whether or not, for instance, provinces should be clear that they have the right to ban homegrown marijuana, because the federal legislation says people can grow it at home, up to 4 plants per household. So questions about how the federal government's going to deal with that. There's actually a proposal from the Senate to ban branded marijuana merchandise, so things like T-shirts with cannabis logos on them. It's not really clear how something like that would work. So the government, the House of Commons, is going to have to decide how to deal with that. The legislation is going to come back over here, and even if it passes in the Senate, then we still don't know when legalization will take place. Justin Trudeau has said it will be sometime this summer, but the government wants a buffer zone, several weeks for people to get ready. They are going to have to decide exactly what date to push that button on legalization. Andrew?
Still a few steps to go. Catherine Cullen outside the Senate tonight. Thanks so much.